Hey, what's up, traders? This is the watch list video for Thursday. Let me get the date right. Thursday, March 10th, showing you the SPY. We had a gap up, big gap up really in the overall market, which, as I always say, is my least favorite day to trade. And it held true because I sucked balls today. Can I say that? I felt like I couldn't do anything right. I did come back from grilling in after hours and saw a couple people in chat posted that Amazon split that I've been waiting for and a buyback. And I was able to make a few bucks in Amazon in after hours. So I appreciate the posts in chat. Unfortunately, it already ripped and I played a pullback on it, but still made a few bucks. So that helped my day a little bit. But overall, I did not trade well today. The only decent trade that I called is CARG. It was already on Bounce Watch, and it probably looked like this when I called it. And I posted in chat, CARG, opening range breakout idea. It's basically a two-day high break. That's what I typed in chat. So the early high, 38.32 right there. Yesterday's high, 38.34. Within 2 pennies of each other, I'll call that a two-day high break if it breaks the high, and it did. And it ended up going up to almost 40.50. So, and I know some of you got that, so that made me feel kind of good. I skillfully missed it after calling it. So that's the kind of stupid day I had. I actually nailed an entry on one thing, a second mouse. I talked about it in chat. And then I was trying to hit my scrolly wheel and figure out where I wanted to start scaling out. And I pushed the scrolly wheel and somehow it also clicked the mouse and I sold the stock by accident for like a dime. And then ended up going up $1 or something. I just had one of those days, like nothing was going to work for me today, no matter what. So anyway, what are we watching for tomorrow? ASTS, big volume, closing well off of its highs, but certainly worth watching tomorrow. Had some good news today. ISIG, a former high flyer. Remember when this thing was ripping back here? It's just been bleeding lower. And that's not an errant tick. It actually did go up to almost 12, 11.99, closing all the way down at 8.52 though, which makes me like it a lot less, but certainly good volume. And let me go to like 15-minute candles just so you can, and I'll pan out for like several days, just so you can kind of get a feel for the relative volume, right? It certainly had great relative volume for the stock, which you can see on these 15-minute candles going back a couple of weeks. When you switch to the daily, it doesn't look like it had much volume at all, right? Because these other huge candles kind of, or whatever you want to call them, volume sticks, kind of smash this one down. So anyway, I don't love it because it closed so far off of its highs, but I'm definitely going to watch it. LGVN got a nice pop too on decent volume for that stock. For some reason, those two used to run together, so we'll see. HUSA, I want to have at least one of the oil plays that absolutely ripped before. And HUSA was one of the better ones today. I actually called an opening range breakout when it probably looked like this. So I meant over the early high, which is basically over 646. It breaks the high, goes to 667, but right back down. But look at this. It kind of flags and then made the real move. And I missed this one, of course, and then flagged and made another move. So this is the one I'm choosing to keep a close eye on if oil gets any kind of a pop. Let me show you a USO real quick, which is an oil ETF. Oil just got slapped today. Didn't feel like it because, let me see if I can find it. I tweeted a picture of this. I literally took the golf cart up to the local gas station because I actually use that to go get propane tanks for my grill. And then I usually fill up the golf cart while I'm there. And let me see if I can bring this up. Bear with me a second. There's a screenshot of it. And I didn't use Super for the golf cart, but both of my cars take Super. And that's what it's trading. That's what it's going for right now. So I've been told not to be political, so I will just leave it at that because I'm so well restrained. I'm such a refined person. So that's it. There's that little picture of oil getting slapped today, but I'm telling you, it didn't affect gas at all. If anything, I think gas went up again today. Back to HUSA. I didn't type that right. I definitely want to keep this one on watch. The one that literally started it all is and I don't have this on the list, but I do have it on a chart, is INDO. I think that's got potential to make a big move too. I personally would like to see gaps down in some of these and then look for a red to green, but we'll see. Who knows? But HUSA is my gas play, my oil play that I've chosen to put on watch. MULN, I don't love this, but I think it's worth having on a chart. 600 million plus shares traded on this day, which was what, 7-8 days ago? It went from 95 cents to $1.95. So it basically doubled in one day, gave it all back and then some. So I don't like it anymore, but then it's kind of curling up. And let's see, yesterday hit $1.44, today put in a lower high. So it is, I think, worth having on a chart. All right. Doesn't cost you anything to put something on a chart. Let me pan out so you can get a better view of the CPSH. Nice volume, pretty strong close, absolutely worth having on watch tomorrow. CANO, kind of the same thing. Nice volume, pretty strong close. Remember, I make my money between the bells. I don't hold overnight. So these are all stocks that may give me a setup tomorrow, right? HDSN, nice breakout today. We'll see if it gives any kind of follow-through setup tomorrow. ISPO, now this is weird, but it actually did do this. It actually ran from 14 to 108. Okay, it shouldn't have been 108, but then it had a nice secondary move all the way up to, from like 30 all the way up to 70. And then now it's fallen off a cliff. And I just think it's a decent possible bounce play, right? It's so oversold now, even though all of these prices were, none of them were probably justified. Going to 15-minute candles, and I'll zoom in a little bit so we can get a look at the last 4 days or so. There's the opening high 4 days ago, never broke it. Same thing 3 days ago, same thing 2 days ago, same thing today. Today put in a much more narrow range though. So I would like to see one of our bounce play setups. I think we might get a nice percentage move as a bounce play. So anyway, that one goes on watch. Thanks to Wayne for pointing that out to me. I quit looking at it. He pointed it out today, and I made a mental note that I'm going to put that on bounce watch. BTU, very, very strong stock. Now you're like 1, 2, 3 days lower. Seems to have also found support near 20. So that one goes on bounce watch. Best Buy had a really nice run here, then earnings and the gap up, and it's been bleeding lower ever since. Switching to 15-minute candles like I like to do. There's the big day, right? The next day, there's the early high. Never broke it. Next day, same thing. Next day, same thing. Put in its high about 30 minutes in, and today, same thing. So it's setting up for a possible bounce play setup. That's what I look for, right? Is a stock that's strong and then has pulled back without breaking its early high for several days. What I'd like to see is it break its early high, preferably out of a narrow range, preferably in the afternoon. So again, it doesn't cost me anything to put Best Buy on a chart, so I will. A couple others, Amazon. Already talked about this, the potential gap play tomorrow. I almost never trade Amazon, but I did an after hours today. It closed at $2,785.50, 58 cents. And right now in after hours, it's trading $2,973. And it looks like it went to maybe 3,100 at one point after the initial news. So they had, I think, a 20-for-1 stock split. And I've been waiting for this news for a long time. Unfortunately, I wasn't at my desk the minute it happened. He probably could have had a huge trade. And they also announced a buyback. So this one, and I don't think the split happens until I want to say May or something. I'm not sure. You have to double check that, but certainly could be in play now. And then lastly, SNTG, which let me zoom in a little bit here. Had a nice pop today, big volume, closing at 162. And as I'm talking right now, it's trading at $2 in after hours. So a potential gapper there as well. We'll find other gappers in the pre-market. And hopefully, I'll trade better tomorrow than I did today. All right, I'm done battling. I'll see you guys in the room in the morning.